I think this video is going to be short and sweet. It's going to be about adjusting column width and row height. So Excel offers this really cool ability to do what's called auto fit your column, so that when you or your row, when you do that, it will make the column automatically fit the largest or shortest and the largest entry basically in the cell, which could mean it's shrinking it or making it larger. So if you take a look at our column A, you can see that these descriptions are cut off, that I'm not able to see all of them, right? They should say automatic gate opener. So I'm going to move my mouse pointer between columns A and B up here, and I'll see that I get this skinny double-headed arrow. Okay, skinny double-headed arrow. And all I need to do is double click. And when I double click, boom, boom, watch how it just auto fit so that it made it as large as the largest entry, which in this case was that utility tube gate. Okay, now I could actually also resize it myself. So I could go between A and B, and I get my double-headed arrow, and instead of double clicking, I can simply drag. So if I wanted to make it wider, I could adjust the width to be wider. If I wanted to make it, shorter, I could make it shorter. Okay, kind of a cool feature. Also have the ability to do multiple at one time. So let's say I wanted to auto fit columns B and C. So I could go to columns B and C and just double click either between B and C or after C, and it would do both of them at one time, which is kind of nice. Okay. If you know for a fact that you want your column width to be a certain width, which is not something that typically happens in the real world. Typically in the real world, you just make it so that it fits the way you want it to fit, right? But in the academic setting, oftentimes they will ask you to actually format it to be a specific width, okay? So in that case, you want to click on the column that you want to adjust the width for. That was funny for those of you that are watching it. That was my alarm that was supposed to wake me up this morning, but I woke up early. Okay. So go back to what we were talking about here. For column G, if I wanted to adjust that column width to be a specific column width, then I highlight that column. I go up to Format, and I go over to Column Width. Okay. And I see here I could actually type in a value. So I could say I want this to be a width of 10, and I click OK. You can also drag it, so because when you're dragging it, you see there that it says what the width is. It tells you the pixels as well. So if you're good with the mouse, you could drag it to 10, and it would basically set it to be that. Okay. If you want to go back to whatever it was originally, you could do default width, and you could also auto fit here. So if you're not good at double clicking, you could use this auto fit column width feature as well. Okay. And we can do the same thing with our row. For our row, we go beneath the row. For the column, we went to the right of it, right? For the row, we go beneath it. So if I wanted to make this a little thicker, I'm going to go between 1 and 2, and I can just pull it out and make it a little bit wider, okay? Or if I was sitting on the row, I could go here and do Format Row Height, and I could, plug in whatever number I want it to be. Let's say I want it to be 25, and I can see that it would grow to be a size of 25, okay? So the last thing I want to show you here is you have the ability to hide columns, or rows, but in this case we're going to do it for a column. This code really means nothing to anybody other than in-house, but it's useful for us to have in-house, but we don't want it displayed when we print. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and select column B, okay, and I'm going to go to Format, and I'm going to go to Visibility, and I'm going to say, look, I want it to hide this column, right? So that's a long way in, right? Hide, unhide, hide columns. The quicker way would be to right click here and just pick hide. So right click and pick hide. Okay, so now you notice that you actually don't see column B. You have A and then C and no B. So if you wanted to bring it back, if you highlight A through C and you right click, you can pick unhide, and that would bring it back. Okay, so it's just a matter of clicking on the column header, right clicking, and then hide, and that would hide it. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. And just keep in mind that you can do multiple columns at once. So you could do all of these and pick auto fit, and they would all auto fit at one time, or they would all adjust to the same column width. You don't have to do them one at a time. And same thing applies for the row.